Hello out there.
Hi everybody. Chef, I might want to slide over 2 inches to me. I think there's drift in there. Trying to get, I don't have the cooties, man.
I was just trying to make sure there was room.
He's saying I'm fat. I think that's what you're
But
saying.
you folks at home don't know, he kicks me a lot when we're doing this, and so I try to protect my shins.
I'll just have you know that I've gotten so many complaints about Chef Chris not being in our last couple of videos.
Well, you know, when you have a duet and the color commentator is missing, you know, all you get's the meat.
Right.
You know, you don't get the veggies. Everybody misses the veggies.
Best in show, those commentators now.
Oh my God.
Man.
What a tandem. And Major League.
Yes.
Euchre and his little sidekick.
Just a bit of.
That's alright, nobody's listening anyway.
I feel the same way about our videos.
You can't say that here.
Oh,
nobody's listening.
yeah, nobody's listening. This is Ed. I'm the sommelier. This is Chef Chris. He is, of course, the chef. We're at Old North State Winery. We make wine here, but we also discover wines from around the world so that we better understand our wines by framing them in the famous regions of the world that have been producing wine for centuries, if not millennia. So we are going to head to a couple of places that most of us have not had the chance to experience their wines. And of course, if you want to experience new wines every single week, Thursday night at 6 p.m. in downtown Mount Airy, we'll do 4 wines every single week. For those of you that can't be there, we do this virtual tasting so you can at least keep up. And there's 2 wines. You can come pick up your wine and a tasting kit that Chef Chris will put together. We'll talk about that later. And you can enjoy it from the comfort of your home on this video here on YouTube. So there's lots of possibilities for you. You can be here. Actually, you can be here and do the virtual.
I mean,
if you really want to.
There's zero restriction.
If you really loved us, you would do that. And give us all your money. Just kidding.
In 20-cent
Just half your money.
increments.
Just half your money. No, we're not in it for the money. We're in it for the glamour and the prestige.
And the international renown.
I mean, we've hit the likes of 40 viewers at some point.
No, there was 63 on one of them.
What?
I looked back the other day.
Are you sure that was our video?
That's a good point. It was on YouTube.
That's probably one where Becca was on, or somebody like Ben or somebody like that.
No, this was a random. It was like I think it was the one that was right after Portugal. The first one we did, we got back or something like that.
I've got to get that Portugal one uploaded.
We haven't done that.
We have not. We need to get that uploaded. That was one of our finer efforts.
I think I know how to do it. I will do it.
All right. Well,
I just like reminders. If you remind me every 6 months, I'll get it done.
that's about where we're at. It's been about 6 months, right?
Yeah.
March.
So it's time for the first reminder.
Yep, that's there. There's your reminder. We need to upload our Portugal trip. Well, now that we're ready, I think we're ready. Are we ready? Should we start?
Is this thing started?
Should we start the video?
Was this the rehearsal? I thought it was the rehearsal.
Well, the boom guy isn't here yet. I hate to start without him.
I've already moved this table twice. Let's just keep going.
Oh boy, we're having fun here at the winery. You know, we would love to have you here, but since you can't, we're gonna do it via the airwaves. That's probably what
God,
they
you're
said
old.
100
I
years
don't ever want to
ago.
be your age. The airwaves.
Through the
What was that show,
bandwidth. Through the bandwidth
WKRP in
in Cincinnati,
Cincinnati.
the great turkey drop. Well, they dropped the turkey.
They dropped the
Out of the
turkeys.
helicopter.
They didn't realize they couldn't
Oh, the
fly.
humanity. All right. Here we go. I want to thank Katie for turning us on to this beautiful producer, Petro Vaselo.
Thanks, Katie.
This has been a real treat diving into all of the production that they have out of Romania. And I think this is a great example of almost like a hybrid, I guess, because we have 75%, I'll start with that, is Chardonnay. and that would be from Romania. And then they add 25% of Riesling from Italy. Now they do grow grapes in on both sides, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Their winery moved from Romania to Italy, and so they can kind of cross promote, I guess, or use both designations. This was listed as a Romanian wine, and we've had several of their wines in the past. This one was brought in for a party that we had. I tasted this with Katie and really was impressed by it. Didn't know if it would translate to general public, you know. But that party was definitely general public, and everybody talked about it and everybody wanted it. So I'm going to show you this wine because it is a unique beverage in terms of.
It goes through a lot of changes. This is a crazy good wine.
Yeah, and it's incredibly inexpensive. You know, you're talking about a sub $20 wine, way below $20, and it's something that it is a great summertime wine. But there's enough going on so you winener just like us can kind of geek out on it a little bit.
Well, and you really can. You know, the nose on this is all over the place. You know, honeysuckle and apple, pear kind of fruit.
Big time.
But I swear, the first sip was different. It wasn't what I was expecting from the nose.
Sure.
But ever since then, all these things are popping out. You remember, like
we just don't see a lot of Rieslings and Chardonnays blended together. So there's weird.
You're getting
reactions.
Different. You're getting very different.
Different reactions than typical white blend.
All the citrus on this. Now, don't get me wrong. Every citrus I taste tastes candied.
In this, definitely. This tastes
and
like.
Not like.
It also tastes like Jolly Rancher green apple.
Yes, and like dry. Like if you dipped a piece, like if you took a dried apricot and like did a little dusting of sugar, but not like syrupy sweet.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but
when they use sugar to dry fruit, so it tastes like dried apricot, dried lemon, orange, you name it, or candied orange.
Yes.
It's awesome.
I totally
it's crazy.
Agree. And keep in mind this is not a sweet wine, but Chef is talking about flavors because
creamsicle.
Flavors change at different states, despite if you take away the fact that there's sugar in it, take the chemistry out of it. Yeah. What you taste in a sugared candied orange tastes different than a fresh orange. Taking the sugar component, the sweetness out of it, they taste different. They still taste like an orange, but they taste differently.
Totally different.
And so when we're saying we're tasting candied fruit, that doesn't mean that this is sweet.
It's not a sweet one.
It tastes like those would if they were dry.
If they were dry. If candy were dry.
And I mean bone, like dry, like
bone,
not
yeah,
sweet.
Like acid bone dry. Creamsicle. The orange creamsicle. You know, I had the orange popsicle on the front.
There's a lot of cream in here.
You get that cream center and the orange around it, like, I mean, it's like drinking a creamsicle.
I'll tell you what else I get. The yellow and that caramel swirl came, the swirl with the white, not the
Rolo.
Caramel part.
The Rolos.
No, Rolo's chocolate. That's chocolate.
Oh, I know, the pinwheel.
It's old school.
Yeah, the old school.
Real old
pinwheel,
school.
yeah.
The cream part of it.
That's exactly
Not the
right.
caramel part, the cream
Now, I think
part
they
of it.
used the same cream for a creamsicle. Because back in the old school,
gotcha.
You would use that same kind of creamy substance.
Anyway, there's lots of stuff going on here is our point.
Tons.
And if you can sit here and rattle off 6, 7 things, and keep in mind he's never had this. This is off the cuff. I've had it. I've had it several times. I've had it, well, I'm going to have it some more too.
It's early.
Oh yeah, it's only 2 o'clock, Chef, so there's going to be a lot more of this had.
Well, it's hot outside.
Oh yeah, it's for hydration purposes only.
Well, bring your body temperature down.
Well, so we have this beautiful bottle too. I want to make note. Really cool
It's
label.
lovely.
Isn't that cool? And the beautiful flowers on there, and it's called Alb. That is the proprietary name of that blend. You'd have to know the producer to know what that means, and now you know. Wonderful wine. I think this is a wine again that you could take it as lightly, as playfully as you'd like, in terms of, by the pool, slugging after mowing your yard later,
Absolutely.
or definitely with food and a serious meal. This
All day long.
This can stand up to some big stuff.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I mean, you're not really boxed in on this. I mean, I would go. I would jump. I mean, no brainer on seafood here.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just like leaving that out there.
I was just thinking about that.
But I would jump straight. But I would like jump right over it because every seafood that's ever been known that goes with. That goes with.
Mm-hmm.
But it would jump it too. I would go chicken, pork with this all day long.
Yes.
No problem at all. Now, certainly you'd have to.
I would like to try this with some butter. Like actual melted butter.
I would like to try this with a scampi.
Yeah.
That lemon garlic butter.
Yep, lemon definitely. There's just so much you can do with this one. What a great treat.
Or even a lemon chicken. Like I did a sheet pan chicken last night. I do it a lot. So I take mustard greens and toss them in like red pepper flakes and olive oil, and I throw whole lemons in there, and then I top it with chicken. And I put some potatoes in with the greens too, but I'll do it with chicken, with sausage, with pork, and so as it's cooking, all the juices and fats wilt and season and flavor
There's a steam
greens.
aspect.
And they cook the greens and the potatoes. That'd be delicious.
Oh yeah.
The greens, the lemon, and I love lemon potatoes, like Greek style.
Oh yeah.
Lemony roasted
Sure.
potatoes. They're my favorite potatoes. This would be a home run with pork, chicken like that. Something on the lighter citrusy side.
Mm. I did some Greek potatoes with a chicken meatloaf, and I stuffed the chicken meatloaf with feta.
Nice.
And like mozzarella and arugula and spinach.
Yeah, tons of flavor.
The only problem is
flavor.
I didn't account for all of those juices cooking down, and so the potato was too salty.
Too salty.
I'm big on seasoning. I over salt.
So it concentrated it.
It concentrated, but that'd be my that was
Well, I'm sure the trash can liked it.
Well, we might have eaten. It was good.
Too much salt. My wife would have dumped a half a box of salt on it if it was too salty.
Hey, what do you want? Do you want to attempt to put a pairing in this? Or
We're going Mediterranean all the way. Shaved fennel salad, olives, coriander. I'm gonna do like a coriander olive, shaved fennel. We're gonna go feta. We're gonna go lemon. We're gonna do smoked salmon.
Perfect.
All those. It's got it all.
Yeah.
It's
all good.
It's just born for. I know I jumped over the fish part to begin with, but I mean that's what this is going to flourish.
It just seems almost.
It was just
so
like a
obvious.
no-brainer, yeah.
Yeah,
But I was just saying how the weight of this wine and the will also surpass seafood. This would be great with salmon, like a steamed.
Because it has enough acidity to cut through the richness of the
richness.
salmon.
Especially if you like poached it or braised it.
Yeah, it gets even richer.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Well, that's a winner. This is another Etruscan imports that we're about to get into. If I can get the rascal
You
open.
just smash it against the side.
Wait, now Chris, you have had this.
Yeah, that's true. You gave me a sip last week.
We were
Actually, it's still right there. That bottle. So we never finished it. What a shame.
I'm sure it'll
I'm
make
embarrassed.
it'll make a great sauce show.
It will. I just embarrassed. I mean, I don't think I'm not going to like that.
All right, so we are going to be in Empordalia, which is the northeastern part of Catalonia, which you're right up against the Pyrenees, just south of France. And this is a region that has been a DOC since I believe the 70s. So in terms of, classifications of wine, not the oldest, but also not the newest. Classifications are just so active and they're so actively changing and stuff. Believe it or not, many of these places in the old world were kind of late to the game in terms of certification, but that doesn't mean that they weren't making wines 2,000 years ago, because they were. I mean, the cities.
No, they couldn't have been if there wasn't a certification.
Right. Just like I can't be a chef because I don't have a certification.
Or a hat.
Or a som.
Or had.
So if you have this, this area that literally has cities with Roman walls around the cities. And guess what? Romans drank a lot of wine. So these are definitely areas that have been growing wine. This is actually from a co-op, and so this one kind of resonated with me because the winery that we work in started as a co-op. And so what is a co-op? It's a shared facility with different farmers and winemakers can utilize the facility. And this is very typical. I tell people this all the time. They think it's really weird. And I was like, no, this is how wines were made and still are.
And there's two great examples of that. One being very recent when we were in Portugal. Most of the little towns that we went through to do tastings had a communal winery. Like everybody brought their grapes in, and like some are different. From my understanding, some it's kind of like they have these communal kitchens or ovens. Like in my Yaya, the girl's grandma, they had one oven in the middle of the village.
Oh, wow.
And you just signed up for times.
Right.
And you came down and you baked your bread.
Right.
And like everybody had the time that you bake bread every day.
Yeah.
Or every other day, whatever it was. But I mean, then you had your time slot for that week where you came 3 days or 4 days a week, whatever it was, and you used the communal oven.
Right.
And some villages, like you can come and like press and make your wine, and other ones like reminds me of like Macon Village, where the village hires one winemaker.
He makes it for everybody,
and everybody brings their grapes, and he makes or she makes the wine for everyone. The village gets their cut, but it's that wine.
Sure.
And some make their own wine just using a shared facility, but some are just like. We just bring all our stuff and somebody makes. So I guess there's different tiers.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
How cool is that?
It's it's just pulling resources and whatever your need is. There's no one way to make wines, and we were talking about this. Chef, how many people did the chef's table last week? 30 something. I can't remember.
It was over 30.
We had so many conversations about wine, but. We were talking about, that there's places that grow grapes, because we were having a bottle from the Ducey Ranch. That's what it was.
That's right.
The Ducey Ranch, which is a family-operated farm that grows Zinfandel, and they sell their grapes to Ridge. And we were talking about, Ridge grows grapes and makes wine, but they also purchase specific farmland grape, not the land, but specific plots of grapes to make a specific Zinfandel, which we had at the chef's table on one of the nights. I think it was Thursday night. Yeah,
and like that's very prevalent in Oregon and Willamette too. Like Shea vineyards, my favorite vineyard is Shea. Massive. And it's like when you arrive there, and like we serve lots of Oregon wines that are Shea vineyard.
Sure.
But like St. Innocent has
St. Innocent.
And oh gosh, there's 3 or 4 other people. I mean, like everybody who makes wine, there has a Shea offering, and like the map on the wall at the vineyard at the big tasting room is their entire holdings, all their grapes, and they're all blocked out, to what down. I think there's 640 little blocks, and they're all color coded as to who's got what, and like they grow to the specifications, or they're just promised. There's 3 lots for them to do. Like St. Innocent will have a Shea offering, and then the Main Serena have a Shea offering, and so forth and so on. And they obviously have 70-60% of their vineyards are for their wine production, but I mean a lot of it is Patricia Green, the same thing. Archery Summit has a Shea. But I mean it's like a huge deal to have, like when somebody gets that primo land. Right. But the spirit of it is what's so great. It's like we're not going to hog it. No, let's share it so everybody can have it. And you get.
And none of those wines taste the same.
That's it. You get 15 expressions of that same land. Right. Or not even land, that parcel. Sure. So you'll have 15 interpretations of that Pinot, of those kind of. I just think that's wonderful.
Yeah, and I think
I love it.
I think if someone's focusing on the farming and not having to worry about the winemaking aspect, they can put more energy into making sure that the grapes are to the specs of the winemakers, and vice versa. The winemakers can be more focused on what they want to happen when the grapes are in their hands, rather than having to worry about a viral disease or a mold that's been attacking. Let the people. I'm not saying it's assembly line, but man, those are two big jobs. Those are huge jobs.
Massive jobs, and unless you can do it on a micro scale, you're
Right.
not. One of the two are going to suffer.
Yeah.
And it benefits everyone,
Mm-hmm.
like the freedom of the winemaker and the farmer, because that burden is lifted off of them. They're going to pay you back in quality. You're going to get a better grape, and then in turn you're going to get better juice, and that may free up the chateau people. That frees them up too. Well, now maybe they do a little better marketing. Now maybe they can put more sunlight on what they do. Maybe they can grow now because they're not out there, training the hawks and trying to deal with, rain next week. Everybody benefits, and you're going to grow together. And I think growing together is a big part of it. Having that confidence that my entire yield is sold.
Right.
I don't have to stress it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry. I don't have to dump it. If
Right.
I can't find somebody, and I've got to take these amazing grapes, and But I think the power of the negotiant has emboldened farmers, not hurt them.
We've learned so much from the French, and they start all that. It all starts there, in my opinion, when it comes to the advancement of wine procedures. I'm not saying they can't be improved on, but boy, they really set a high bar and set a many pathways for us to follow in the winemaking world. So, Emporda, of course, Catalonia. This is known for many things. Like personally, it's a big thing for me because El Bulli, the most famous restaurant ever, is from this area, and the chef. That's a big deal. Also, if you're into art, which my family is, Salvador Dali is from this area. So this area is full of talent, and I think you're going to see that the talent is at every level, because you don't have what I would call a famous winemaker here, or even a famous winery, simply because that's not what they're trying to do here. They're just trying to make delicious wine. So in Emporda, this is a group effort. Empordalia is what they call it, and you can go visit there and drink their wines. And just like you can come to our winery and taste our wines, and we get grapes from different wineries and or farms and vineyards, and so this is very typical of what we do as well. The two grapes here, this is the Antima. This is a signature blend that they're famous for, their red blend. And this particular year is 2020, and it's a blend of 60% Grenache, or you might know it as garnacha in Spain, and carignan, which is that famous, not so famous red grape in southern France. Now remember, we're very close to southern France. We're just across the Pyrenees from it. And this grape is also known as Vaselo in Spain, and Samson in Catalonia. Now, we got to remember, Spain is broken down basically in at least 4 different separate parts. That are they're always trying to
The breakaway republics.
They're breakaway republics all the time, of course.
Kind of like Georgia and all those things.
But I don't know that it'll ever be a settled country. But as it lie now, it is one big, massive wine producing country, but definitely different regions mean something in this world of Spain. And we are certainly just nipping at the heel of France in terms of geography. We're just south of there. And I would say, Chef, that this has some of that Frenchy Southern Rhone roastiness, but to me, Spain, the garnacha always gets more candied and less mineral driven. Would you agree?
It's a fuller
Fuller.
It's much fuller. I'm getting. I mean, the minerality is there, but it's not. It's going to be the 15th thing.
Yeah.
I bring up
Definitely.
the candy, the almost
Compote.
concentrate.
Concentrate. Yeah.
Like if you did a drop of some, reduction into something.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm saying that
So
is
fruity.
processing all that fruit this morning.
Mm.
Some of them were more concentrated than the others because I had a week. One was like a week
Right.
older than.
You were
some others.
macerating.
Yes, and so, but one of the blackberry I had done a week earlier, and it was amazing how much more viscous it was, and the thickness of it, because it had really, really brought everything in, and even just with the ladle before I even, mushed it. Thank you. I haven't
You
tried
didn't
this
swoosh it? You mooshed it?
I didn't swoosh it until after it was straightened.
Gotcha.
But I mean, the difference in texture,
Mhm.
which and in the weight, like I tried them both side by side. I swear it was more fuller and rich because it had concentrated more. So
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of that.
So this is very extracted, I would say.
Very extractive.
And just
Thank you.
I'm really struggling with how to describe the fruit. I would say extremely dark, maybe blackberry, blueberry, dark plum, dark cherry.
Plum all day.
There's something even richer in there that I can't pinpoint. It's very, very
Boysenberry.
dark. Boysenberry, that'd be a good one. Maybe a mulberry or something of that nature. It is a dark fruit, and it is absolutely wonderful. It has almost it's so almost reduced. It's almost sticky, but it's not sweet, so it can't be sticky.
This is gonna sound weird, but this doesn't taste like wine. Like in a traditional, hey, have a red wine. It's a big red wine. It doesn't. It is so.
You mean it's more like port, maybe?
Well, it's just so fruit forward. It doesn't taste. I can't get any alcohol off of it.
Oh no!
Is what I mean.
And I gotta tell
I
you,
mean, like not even a hint.
it's
So it doesn't feel like I'm drinking wine because
Right.
any wine you drink, no matter what, there's alcohol. in
It's
it.
so well hidden, and if you look at those tears, you know it's in there.
Well, that's what's so odd about it. It's like even
They're
if you
just
drink
crawling.
like a 10%,
Mhm.
white, you can tell there's alcohol. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
tell there's alcohol. in it.
And it says 14 and a half, so it
It's
must have
drinking
14
like
and a half.
1%.
It's drinking like it is. If you have someone that doesn't like alcohol, this might just be the one for them.
I don't taste any alcohol.
It's crazy.
Zero.
Yeah.
I've never had this happen.
And that's a compliment.
Big
I
time.
would say it's
Big
very integrated,
Big time.
super integrated. I'm curious to see. Even the tears are tinted, chef. Yeah, there's a lot of extractive components to this.
There's something in here. You're right. That's bigger than what the average repertoire.
Maybe I'm thinking. Maybe I need to think outside of fruit.
I would think there's something bigger like molasses.
Now you're getting there. That's what I'm talking about. I need to step outside of fruit.
Sorghum. What's the paste in Thai cooking? That
Hoisin.
yes.
Hoisin.
Hoisin.
Yeah.
But there's this
It's like
tamarind.
it's sweet.
That
Oh,
tamarind.
tamarind. Yeah. Well, I think there's tamarind in hoisin.
That's what I mean. But I'm thinking about
Yeah.
those blocks of tamarind
yeah.
that they make hoisin for. Like when you go to the
Yeah.
Asian shop and you can
Sure.
feel them and they're mushy and they're
Yeah.
muscular and it's just they're awesome.
Like kind of going. There is umami in here too.
Mhm.
So kind of veering off course. There is probably a maybe a soy or a
I would go along miso. That
what
ferment.
is that sauce you used to make for your spring rolls back in Cross Creek days? What'd you call that?
What did I call that?
It was like a shoyu.
Show you, yeah.
Shoyu.
Yeah. You reduce it.
Where
With lots of
it's
citrus.
reduced. So the
Reduced.
fruit's reduced and there's umami
when
from the
there's
soy.
just enough sugar for consistency, but not sweet.
Correct.
It kind of helps balance the reduction of the salt, the
I'm
sodium.
getting
Yeah.
some of that. there's a umami reduction type thing in here. Anyway, again, we're talking a lot about a wine, which means, guess what? That means it's a complex wine.
Delicious.
And that also means it's a great one. Again, this is a bottle under $30 that you can afford to drink and impress your friends with.
This is a big time dinner party wine.
I
I mean, beyond the amazing talking points which you've gone through and the topography and geography and all the things about the area. I mean, this is a big time one.
Yeah,
I mean, showtime, or rather. I mean, like you can bring this out for showtime.
Now, of course, you know, I don't mean to diminish the, you know, like, because they, like I said, well, they don't have a big name winemaker. That doesn't mean they're not great winemakers, because clearly they are.
Every
This
great
is a
winemaker
generation.
was not famous
That's
before
right.
they made
Before
the
they got
wine.
famous. That's right.
Yeah, they didn't say, well, as
They
soon
were
as I get famous, I'm going to start making the good stuff. No, they were making the good stuff, toiling away in obscurity,
Right.
and somebody found them.
Right.
Same thing.
This is, you know, generations of generations in their blood, their destiny to make delicious wines. Probably not expecting for us in Mount Airy, North Carolina to get a hold of it, but nonetheless, their destiny was to make delicious wines, and they have achieved that. And I want to thank them very much for producing these beautiful wines. Of course, I want to also thank everyone for watching our videos. We have had quite a run of Chef's Tables. If you haven't experienced that, come watch Chef produce amazing creations right in front of you, and have delicious wines, not unlike these, poured for you to pair along with them.
Lunch and dinner.
Lunch and dinner, Chef. Lunches have been almost as busy as
They're
the
so
dinners.
much fun.
Yeah, they are.
I enjoy those very much. You know, it's not quite the time constraint, but everything else absolutely has the same elevation. But it's somehow lighter because the sun's out and
Yeah.
it's daytime, and
Right.
I just love the vibe of the daytime Chef.
Yeah, and we've had some companies do Chef's Tables. We've had some family reunions. We've had, of course, the birthdays, the anniversaries, and just the passers through. And
Well, then everything.
people that are like, oh, Mount Airy has something to do, we'll do it. And so we do appreciate
It's pretty
it.
wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's hot. We're still cooking, right? We're still hot and sweaty, and still cooking the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And then we'll be ready for you on Thursday if you're here in person. If not, you can come by and pick up your packet. Chef, I don't think we mentioned food, did we?
Well, I haven't tried the wine yet.
Oh, that's right. Whenever you try the wine. I think that this would go with just about anything on the plant.
Well, luckily we're going to do painted hill brisket
Well, that would be lovely.
with a veal roasted shallots.
Perfect. A little sweetness from that onion.
Well, I think so too, but they're rich. I think the fat from the brisket's going to help widen this out a little bit. A little iron in this to break it up a little bit. It'd be delicious.
Well, thank y'all very much for watching our little show, and please like it, comment it, share it, subscribe it, all those good things.
All those wonderful things.
And we will catch you, hopefully, the both of us next week. So
It'll happen. It's
so
going to be
I
great.
don't get my ear chewed off anymore.
No, it's just been we're trying to adjust. We're back to our old selves. Good night, everyone.